Welcome to VSB News Online for Monday, July 20th. I'm Peter Cattell. After decades of delay, it finally looks as though St. George's is going to get another hotel, to be built at a cost of $120 million by the Desarrollos Group and managed by the St. Regis Starwood Hotels brand. It will have 122 hotel rooms, up to 90 condos, 6 residences and a new golf course. Parliament will come back on August 17th to pass the Enabling Act, and as Brian Darby reports, Tourism Minister Sean Crockwell is over the moon.
Mr. Crockwell said he was very excited to announce that the Bermuda government and the Desarrollos Hotel Company had now poised to finalise the Master Development Agreement for the St. George's Tourism Development Site. As such, he was able to table the St. George's Resort Act 2015. He said it was a group that is more than capable of developing a world-class full-service resort, and Bermuda was very excited to have them as a partner. Today, he said, marked a significant milestone for the development. It is indeed very good news and comes as a result of numerous meetings that the government, the Bermuda Tourism Authority and Desarrollos have had with both internal and external stakeholders to negotiate terms and to prepare the relevant documentation. It will be a $120 million development and very significant to the revitalization of the tourism industry, the St. George's community and Bermuda as a whole, said Mr. Crockwell. The development has the potential to spur other developments and provide exponential employment opportunities, crucial to Bermuda, and it will have a positive impact on the island. The government, he said, had made a promise to develop a resort in the East End, and it's a promise that it was keeping. He went on to say that reaching this point was a testament to the focus and efforts to create an inviting business environment to attract inward investment and private sector jobs for Bermudians. It was a very important piece of legislation, and he encouraged the opposition to support it, as it was a tremendous benefit for all in Bermuda. Brian Darby reporting for VSB News.
At the close of one of the most rancorous meetings in the history of the Bermuda Parliament on Friday, Premier Michael Dunkley looked across the chamber at opposition leader Mark Bean and gave voice to the frustration that had been building throughout the last day of the current session.
If you're going to come with allegations, come with facts. Don't come with hearsay. Don't come with hallucinations. Come with facts, because I will not tolerate it. I don't tolerate wrong, and I won't tolerate dreaming by the other side, Mr. Speaker. The honourable member already is walking on a thin line, Mr. Speaker. If he has a point of order, stand up and say it like a man. Don't sit in his chair and chirp across the floor, Mr. Speaker. We have a serious job in this country because we face challenges where too many of our brothers and sisters are hurting and can't get jobs. We won't be sidetracked by the allegations coming from the other side. We're not going to run from right. We'll face the heat. We're not going to get sidetracked in turning this country around. And with the tabling of the Act tonight, it's another positive step to move forward. We'll continue to do our job, and if the opposition is sincere about making lives better for all Bermudians, then they should work with us instead of working against us and the future of Bermuda. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Bermuda's ability to react quickly as a public-private partnership to any overseas business opportunity is behind government's decision to reopen Parliament on August 17th to reinforce its investment regulations. As Sean Moran, Business Development Manager for the Bermuda Business Development Agency, explains, it is anticipated that later this week, the European Securities Market Authority will recommend opening up the EU market to other jurisdictions.
Really, it's a closed market in Europe. You have to be a European-based hedge fund manager in order to sell your funds freely within the European Union. Based on how that program has been running for the past 2 years or so, they are now considering extending this sort of passport program to third countries, i.e. countries outside of the EU, to allow managers in those third countries to be able to market their funds in Europe to European investors. And this is something that a lot of hedge fund managers around the world would like to take advantage of. They would like to be able to access, German pension funds and French funds and all of the different people that invest into these products.
So having us go back to Parliament on August the 17th would indicate that the government take this thing very seriously.
Yes, and the requirement in order for us to even be considered, or anyone outside the EU to be considered for third country equivalence or be approved as a third country for passport, is that they need to be able to show that their regulation is on par with the regulation that's currently in effect in the European Union governing these types of products. So it's a high standard, and we want to make sure that Bermuda is in position to demonstrate that it has those same high standards in place.
It does show the flexibility of how Bermuda approaches interesting situations like this, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And this has definitely been a very collaborative effort between the BMA, who really are the owner of this regulation, as well as industry, who are the key stakeholders and interested parties here.
New and existing college-university students can gain an insight into the world of technology through the Technology Leadership Forum, which hosts its annual IT Summer Networking event tomorrow at the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. Sandra De Silva, chair of TLF and managing director and chief software architect of Nova, shares with Charles Webb the importance of technology, and Summer Nova intern Christopher Wellman concurs.
ICT training is very important for Bermudians and for Bermuda as a whole. I think that there are a lot of up-and-coming innovative ways that the international business is using IT to be strategic, and it can only benefit Bermuda and Bermudians to get the necessary training that they need in order to contribute towards that trend and to become innovative in their own right and further strengthen the kind of presence that Bermuda already has in international business. And technology is definitely one way of doing that, for sure.
Have you seen any increase in the interest on the part of young Bermudians to get into the technology field?
I have, absolutely. I think that the millenniums, all the young sort of students who are aspiring and getting into this field certainly has an increased interest, because I think it's around them every day. I think they naturally work with IT and work with different applications. They have a different sense of how to use technology to their advantage, and I believe that they will be better equipped to come up with some remarkable things that we can't even imagine 10 years from now.
This is preparing me for the future because it's giving me an insight on the working world and what it's like to actually have a job in the IT field, because it's not a normal 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 where you come in, do what you have to do and you go home. This is a field where your work really goes with you everywhere you go. Your work really doesn't stop.
For the 9th month in a row, Bermuda's shopkeepers have been able to record an increase in their total retail sales, the May total reaching $89 million, some 1.4% higher than the same month in 2014. Building materials stores recorded the biggest growth in sales at 9.5%, while in contrast the sale of motor vehicles fell 5.4%. Returning residents declared overseas purchases valued at $5.6 million, or $600,000 more than in the same month of last year. In the other retail sectors, food sales strengthened 5.3%, revenue from apparel stores rose 3%, and boat and marine supplies went up 13.2%. The 80-acre finger of land at the L.F. Wade International Airport has had its ownership transferred within government so that it can be used to house a solar project that has the potential to supply 25% of the island's electricity needs. VSB News' Chris Lodge has the details.
Tourism and Transport Minister Sean Crockwell says the area has been identified as the only available land that can accommodate a large-scale solar power plant capable of providing 25% of the island's power. Under the Civil Airport Amendment, the airport's lines will be redrawn, making the 80-acre finger public land under the control of the Public Works Minister. Both Lawrence Scott, Shadow Transport Minister, and Opposition Leader Mark Bean pointed out that the finger is much used at present. Hazardous materials, for instance, are stored at the vacant runway, and aircraft are diverted there in emergencies, as well as military aircraft. Mr. Bean concedes the finger is an ideal site for solar energy, telling MPs that a company had lobbied for its use as such under the PLP administration. The order was subsequently approved. I'm Chris Lodge, VSB News.
After 6 years at the Fairmont Hamilton Princess, the Windjammer 2 Art Gallery is set to close at the end of July at the request of the hotel owners, who have other plans for the space. Owner Sheila Head feels this is a good time to retire, but has handed the business over to her assistant curator, Danju Anderson, who will be reopening under the same name in the city of Hamilton later in the year.
I'd be wrong if I didn't say I was sad and disappointed, but all the things are for a reason or a season, and I said I was only going to do this for 2 years, and it's been 6. So I'm really very, very happy to retire now and spend my time painting. Danju's always wanted his own gallery, and Danju has been a wonderful support, along with Alexia, my other helper, and so we're looking at it all as an opportunity to go forward.
Now, when you first did it, the ethos was to get other painters to come to you and make it a kind of Bermuda icon, and you've succeeded in 6 years.
Well, we did. We started off with, I think, 8 artists, and we now represent 60 of Bermuda's artists and artisans. And I travel a lot, and I go to a lot of other galleries, and Bermuda can hold its head up anywhere just about in the world as regards what we have to offer on this island. I think the other thing I would say about this gallery is that when the previous manager, John Crellin, came to me, I didn't want to do this at all. He said it was something he suggested. And his thoughts were that it made this hotel authentically Bermudian. And I think that that's really what our guests have. We've ended up with almost 4,000 people on our database. And we've had some wonderful letters, sometimes from quite well-seasoned businessmen and from leisure people to some quite young new insurance gurus. And they all say the same. They say, you know, it's just so wonderful to see the gallery. It's so much more than just a gallery. It's somewhere to soothe your soul. It's somewhere to come and see other people.
After a heavy day.
Absolutely.
As many as 30 Bermuda Regiment soldiers are to be sworn in as special constables for the first time in a bid to boost the Defense Force's ability to help out the police service in times of stress. Drawn from a number of public order specialists, the Operational Support Unit, Boat Troop, and the Regimental Police. The soldiers have started training under police instructions to earn a warrant card and status similar to the existing Reserve Police. They will have powers of arrest when directly engaged in a supporting role to police patrols. And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
Bermuda's under-17 women's national team, playing in their final group match of the under-17 CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers in Haiti, took on the hosts knowing a win they would advance to the next stage, but in the end, Haiti was too strong, winning 4-0. Bermuda must now wait on a group playing in Trinidad. The group has not started yet, but with a goal difference of +1, Bermuda have to wait to see if they have the best second-place team record in the two groups to advance to the next stage. 9 more medals were captured on the third and final day by members of the Bermuda Pacers Track Club to take their total while competing in the 10th Annual United Age Group Track Coaches Association Track and Field Championships in Pennsylvania to 17 medals. Selah Tuzo won the 11-12 girls 800-meter run gold medal, clocking a personal best time of 2:26.16. The Pacers 11-12 girls 4x400-meter relay team of Tasia Malay Astwood, Tuzo, Koa Goodchild, and Zakeisha Parsons captured gold, clocking a time of 4:28.95. Zakiah Lewis won the 13-14 girls triple jump gold medal with a top leap of 10.74 meters. The 13-14 boys Pacers 4x400-meter relay team also won the gold medal. The team of Jaden Ming, Malik Jewell, Ryan Otterbridge, and Clevante Lodge clocked a winning time of 3 58-84. Ajale Hollis won the 9 to 10 girls 100-meter dash silver medal, crossing the line in a time of 14:53, while Parsons won the silver medal during the 11 to 12 girls 100-meter dash, recording a time of 13:08. Parsons also won a silver medal during the 11 to 12 girls 200-meter dash, crossing the line in a time of 27:20. Aliyah Fadada won the bronze medal in the same event, clocking a time of 27:72. And Aaron Jacobs won the bronze medal during the 15 to 16 boys 800-meter run, clocking a time of 2:02:52. Well, it was total confusion that brought the end to the Eastern County Cup first round match on Saturday at Lords and St. David's, with the scores level at 126. Time had run out, and the challengers Bailey's Bay thought they had won, while champions Cleveland County were celebrating, hanging on to the trophy. The confusion surrounded the time-wasted tactics by Cleveland County, and they were not penalized for it as the stumps were pulled at the time allotted, 7:20. Eastern County Cricket Association issued a statement yesterday which states the Eastern County Cricket Association wishes to inform the public the game between Cleveland County Cricket Club and the Bailey's Bay Cricket Club, held on July 18th, ended according to the rules of the Eastern County Cricket Association. However, VSB Sports can confirm that the association did meet last night, and we are awaiting a press release on the outcome of their ruling. Lisa Blackburn and Julian Fletcher were back in action in the Pan American Games in Toronto at the University of Toronto Scarborough Aquatic Center. Both qualified for the B finals in the women's and men's 100-meter breaststroke. Blackburn had her best performance at the game when she clocked a time of 1:14:45 in the final, taking almost 2 seconds off her preliminary time on her way to finishing fifth.
Well, after this morning, I was pretty disappointed. So I wanted to come in tonight and just focus on the process more. So I was able to relax myself a bit more, I think, and just enjoy it. I mean, you don't get to represent Bermuda very often, and this is probably my last Pan Am game, so I really wanted to just relax, have fun, and I focused more on my stroke count, and I swam the race a lot better. So I'm really pleased with that. The time is still not there, but I have to get confidence again from swimming the race how I need to swim it. And I think that's where I've gotten lost a bit in the last few months, is I'm trying too hard and I'm trying to do too much instead of just relying on my experience and knowing what works for me. So I'm happy that I kind of took a step back and had fun with it and did what I know that I need to do.
Fletcher missed out on the men's 100-meter breaststroke national record by 2/100th of a second, touching the wall in a time of 1:03:60, also finishing fifth.
I think I went out faster. I was out at the wall with that Canadian, and he's a 200 swimmer, so he's got the pace to come back. So I was just trying to stick with him on the last lap. Unfortunately, couldn't beat him to the wall, but hopefully I'll be able to put it all together and get the national record in Kazan at World Championships.
But you now go to the World Championships really feeling good about yourself because you know you're fine-tuning. Is it the fact that you're swimming more in high-level competition that raises your game?
Yeah, definitely. I think coming out and swimming competitively in the semifinals or finals at any high level is definitely going to help to some extent. But once you're on the blocks, it doesn't matter what happened in your past. You could get a guy that's like 15, 16 years old, I'll touch you. So I think my most important thing that I need to work on is just making sure that I swim my race properly the way I've been used to swimming it. So it went well for me tonight, so hopefully it'll go better in Kazan.
Yesterday, Jillian Teixeira and Patrick Nisbet, along with the other competitors in the Pan American Games horse show jumping, performed a jog in the morning alongside their horse for inspection. The two riders from Bermuda wore country-appropriate attire for their jog. A week after capturing the women's triathlon bronze medal at the Pan American Games in Toronto, Flora Duffy won the exterior Beaver Creek Mountain Championships. Duffy proved she's just as strong on a mountain bike and the trails, as she had the fastest swim, bike, and run to take the tape at 2:22:41, more than 6 minutes ahead of runner-up Emma Garrard. Meanwhile, Tyler Smith produced one of the strongest Bermuda performances of the season, finishing 10th during the European Triathlon Union's Junior Elite Series in France. The event saw some of Europe and nation's top junior athletes all take part. Smith completed the 750-meter swim in a time of 9:25. He then completed the 20K bike course, clocking 30:03. He then completed the 5-kilometer run course in a time of 16:46, clocking an overall time of 48:49, and he was just some 5 seconds out of 7th place. Bermuda's under-19 national rugby team fell in their final match of the 2015 North American Caribbean Rugby Association's under-19 Caribbean Rugby Championships in Florida. Bermuda went down to USA South Red 17-0. I'm Earl Baston reporting from Toronto, Canada at the Pan American Games for VSB Sports.
Now for the weather for Tuesday, July 21st. It will be partly cloudy with a couple of passing showers. Winds will be southwesterly, moderate to strong, with stronger gusts around showers. The high will be near 87 Fahrenheit, the low near 79 Fahrenheit. This weather report is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News Online for Monday, July 20th. I'm Peter Kittil.